Hello and welcome to today's trade recap. Today is August 24th, 2026. This is the trade I took last night, leaving me with $1,271.18, leading me to make $6,355.90 across all 5 of my accounts. So let's get into it. Now, coming into the new day open, I'm still leaning more bearish. As you can see, we've been completely dumping. We had all-time highs get taken on ES, so we have a bearish SMT. Now, I'm expecting us to probably rebalance this entire range right here, at least to the 50% mark right down here in the middle of this daily fair value gap. However, we also have equal lows right down here at the bottom, or relative equal lows. I think they're like maybe 1 tick apart. And as you can see, we swept out this daily swing and we failed to cause a major reaction. Now, coming into the new week, I'm waiting to see what we do. Maybe we're going to make a new week opening gap and go long. So once we get our week open right here, you can see that we don't really have a new week opening gap. It's just this, it gets filled immediately and we just immediately sell off. Now, we have previous week's low super close by and we're failing to distribute bullish, and the majority of my time frames are leaning more bearish. Now, you can see here the 4 hours completely wrecking all these bullish 4-hour gaps. We swept this low, we reswept, we pushed back down, made relative equal lows right here, and we're just failing to continue to push higher into all of these unmitigated 4-hour gaps right here, 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 and as well as this daily gap right here. Now, I come into the day waiting, okay, maybe we're going to dump and sell off, take out previous week low, and then I'll look for some sort of sponsored gap entry up to this bearish daily gap, or we're going to bump all the way up to this daily gap, I'll catch something out of it, and then go down to previous week low to push us lower to my 50% range, this daily fair value gap and discount, or this daily imbalance and discount, as well as this weekly imbalance that is also in discount of this move up from the monthly fair value gap. Now, when the market opens, this is our 30-minute candle. I'm not really looking for anything yet. I am leaning more shorts. However, we're stuck in this 30-minute range, you can see right here, so I'm not really convicted on anything yet, and I'm waiting to see. I would not want to take a bullish gap that gets made in this, I call this like a death, like a giant death candle. I wouldn't be looking to take anything since we're just stuck in this range right here, especially bullish, since I'm leaning more bearish, since all of my time frames are telling me to be bearish, right? So we end up making a bullish gap. As you can see, we completely wreck it. Now, that's enough for me to add into my confirmation. Now, yes, we're stuck in a range. However, we have this bullish 30-minute IFEG. That tells me that we're clearly disrespecting these bullish gaps, especially in the higher time frames. Even though we're stuck in a range, you know, we reacted off here, had a bounce, reswept, had a bounce, created this sponsored gap from this resweep, and then completely inversed it. Now, that tells me I should be looking for some kind of sell, right? So if we go to the 1 hour, you know, this is too choppy to find any kind of 1 hour gap, but we also inverse this 1 hour to the left right here. So that's added confirmation for me that I'm looking for sells to take us down to these relative equal lows, and previous week low being my overarching target right here. Now, on the 30-minute, once we tap our 30-minute, since we're stuck in a range, I needed more confidence than normal. Now, I don't know if this is synced up. I don't think it. Actually, no, it's not in replay. It's annoying. But anyway, so once we tap this 30-minute gap right here, this, to me, isn't enough of a touch in this gap, especially with this 1-minute accumulation that was going on, for me to then think, okay, we've hit this accumulation zone and we reswept the accumulation high, but that's not enough for me to all of a sudden just try and take a short out of this high time frame range, right? So I wait for people to get wrecked who try to short right here after we get our change in state, market structure shift, we close below this low right here, right? I wait for them to get wrecked. We re-sweep them out. And that's where that's enough confidence for me to at least take an attempt and put some sort of risk on the table, assuming that we are going to continue lower. Now, I would have liked if we manipulated higher out of this accumulation zone, maybe had an inversion or some sort of entry there and then distributed, but we didn't get that. We did get our stop hunt turtle soup. You can see a clear rejection from this wick right there. So that tells me that, okay, this should at least take me down to this low, these equal lows right there. And I can then use that to target my sell side below, with it being previous week low and then New York low right over here from Friday. So if we wait for confirmation, we get it right here. Now, if I can pull this up on ES, I did wait for ES to take this same confirmation for me. So once we resweep this leg, I'm waiting for us to get a market structure shift, because to me, that's really telling me that we're going to break out of this range. So I was waiting for us to close below this level right here, 341.2. And I end up taking my entry right here. Now, I added a contract, so my entry was like, I think 338. But I entered like somewhere on this candle for all of them. But my entry was 338 on the dot. So, and stop always at the protected high no matter what. And then I targeted the previous week low for about a 3.42R trade. As you can see, if we go on the weekly chart, we already swept it, but since we go replay mode, you can see previous week low, that's where my TP is set. So now once I'm in this trade, we clearly start to sell off, and what we end up making is a 15-minute gap right around my entry. So we close below this low, showing me and telling me that we want lower. Now, I didn't necessarily go break even yet, only because we made a 15-minute gap, and while waiting for the 15-minute gap, we made a 30-minute gap. Now, we started chopping a lot on the 5-minute, so I start to think, okay, maybe we're going to touch this 30-minute gap. I can size into my position, take another entry, and then continue down to the draw on liquidity. However, we don't end up tapping this 30-minute gap, but I did wait to go break even, only because, in my eyes, if we tap this 30-minute gap, that's enough to protect my position. However, we might need to go up in this 30-minute gap to create some sort of, sell side to then target out of the 30-minute gap to then take us to our daily objective right there. So I end up holding my break even basically until we're super close and take out this intermediate low on the way, which was the daily low from Friday, since I was targeting the daily low from Thursday. Now, if we come on the 5-minute and get rid of this drawing right here and right there, you can see that we don't tap our 30-minute gap, which has a level right here. We come super close, not giving me a re-entry. That's okay. I don't need to size into my position. And we get this inverse right here showing us that we are disrespecting this huge random pump right at 12:05 in the morning. And you take this down. Once we hit this level, I do go break even because we swept out a previous day low, and that to me could be something that could take us higher. However, we were super close to our 202 level. It's only 18 points. To me, previous week low was stronger than previous day low. Now I was super confident in this, so I ended up holding. And as you can see, we do go back up. We generate some stops right here and sweep them both out, and then continue to just dump for the rest of the night. Overall, I think this was a great trade. I think I played it absolutely perfectly. And yeah, I think it was super textbook. I mean, as you can see, 0 time in red right at entry. Can't ask for anything better than that. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. Other than that, have a great day.